welcome back to the RedSeaPodcast on a more late-ish episode. At least if you are listening now, the episode is of course another one of the post-game shows that I enjoy so much, but I end up absolutely blabbering about because my mind just trails off into like 50 million different side subjects. So, as always, I hope you all are prepared for all the chaos. I'm pretty sure that we are on episode 81, and it's the first time where I am in no doubts about my audio, and I'm pretty sure I figured everything out. And yeah, what a positive night, honestly. I don't think there is a much better way to describe it than extremely positive. It's the first game in so long where I've not seen anyone complaining, where you could go into a whole different like spiel about the hypocrisy of it all, but today feels too positive to go into a rant. So before I dive into the very quick review of the game, because I don't want to keep you all up until like 12:30, 1 a.m. And honestly, I can't wait for game two, and I don't want to draw too many conclusions too early on. I just wanted to remind you all that whether you're new, whether you are old, no matter when you started watching, you are always more than welcome to share your opinions, whether you are listening now or after. Comments are open to anything, both on YouTube and Spotify, no matter where you are listening, of course. And you can also find me in all the socials, whether in any bio through the link tree or down below in the description. So anything you may need is there. And if I remember, I'll try to remember. If you missed it yesterday, I had the absolute pleasure to have a sit down chat with one of the main inspirations for this show, and that of course is Aris Bouloubasis from Thriller 7 International, one of the best in our sphere, one of the kindest people I've ever talked to, and once again, just a massive shout out to him. I tomorrow morning, tomorrow around midday, I'll make sure to put out some clips from that interview so you all can see if you think that it is worth your time. But he gave me a whole hour of his time to sit down and chat about things that he has talked about before, issues that troubles everyone, his personal stories, some untold, some he tells for the first time, and how the entirety of the success of Thriller 7 International came about. It was honestly an honor to have Ari on this show. So please, if you so wish, and even if you want something playing in the background, do go check out yesterday's interview because I can easily say that it's one of my favorite episodes on this show. Not just now, not just for now. I think this one is gonna be up there for a while, honestly. So yeah, after all that shameless promotion, let's get into the game, shall we? Of course, Olympiacos beat Real Madrid 84 to 72, and it could have been a lot bigger. Like, let's start from the obvious observations. If it wasn't for like one or two negatives, for example, the very low 3-point percentage throughout the entire game, and that free throw problem that I'm convinced will always haunt the team. The difference could have been way higher, but it may be a blessing in disguise that it wasn't, because it's 12 points is a difference where we have locked down the win like we needed to do, and there is still that concentration that it wasn't really a team to underestimate or a team that we demolished. It is still Real Madrid. And it's perhaps some extra motivation to go into game two with exactly the same energy, not only the fans but the players as well, and to just do the same, and if not better, because this team can always do better. But I will start with a quote that I captured my post with my full time on all the socials. When this team stands at its full health, this team has depth, quality, characteristics, variety. You can use so many adjectives to talk about what a healthy Olympiacos VC is, but the main one that you can use is unbeatable. When this team has no absences, there is no team in the competition right now that can beat it. And just as a disclaimer, this was the first game of the season where our injury list was empty. This was the first game of the season. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I am not wrong on that. So yeah, we're about to see if I'm right, but I say this with great confidence in the team, confidence that I have had throughout the entirety of the year, because as I said, there are some people that you can call out for being hypocritical, you can call out for being fake supporters, but I know the people that have stood by this team tooth and nail to the absolute death throughout the entire season and seasons before, but we are talking about this season, of course. And I know the people that have been confident from the start. And honestly, the feeling when this confidence fully pays off, because it already is paying off, but when we get to the point where all our positivity, all our fight, and all our belief in the team pays off, I don't think there is a word in the dictionary that can describe how rewarding that feeling is going to be, not only for the organization, not just for the players, the coach, the staff, but for all of us as well. It will be a feeling that no one will be able to understand bar us few. And honestly, it's something that this team and the fans deserve more than absolutely anything. And I can't bloody wait. I think if I were to start with general talk about the game, general performances, I think the one that is a must to start with, because he is not only finally back, but he is also back at his best. Of course, he needs to find his rhythm again, that goes without saying. But I honestly can't physically put into words how happy I am that he's back. That, of course, is Thomas Walker. The peace and friendship stadium. Seth just completely exploded. I didn't even realize at the start, to be honest with you, that Walkup was coming in. I thought the applause was for Vezenkov, but Seth exploded when Walkup was getting ready, and Walkup was explosive when he came in because he did not only manage to come back, he came back, he played 15 minutes for crying out loud. He played 15 goddamn minutes, and if I'm not mistaken, let me confirm my stats. He put up, uh, there it is. Okay, found it. He put up 3 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. And for a guy that has been out for 3+ months, putting up 3 to 3 and being the vital piece that you've always been to this team, because we know more than anyone, we know better than anyone, that Thomas isn't a stat player. Thomas is a player that shines in his own way, that creates his own game, and that is an absolute nightmare, especially on the defensive end of the court. And that's what he was today, because let's not lie to ourselves. It wasn't the offense that won us the game today, it was the defense mainly. Because as a lot of us have said many times this year, that Bartzokas' team, Bartzokas' Olympiacos, has a pillar, and that pillar that Bartzokas' Olympiacos has is the defense. When Olympiacos comes back to the defensive end of the court and is organized, quick, planned, and communicating properly, then the offense is going to be amazing no matter what. Defense is the pillar of this team, the base of this team, the be all and end all of this team. Because we've won games defensively, we've also lost games due to poor defense. Most of our losses have a poor defensive first cause, to say it like that. So defense is the pillar of this team, the base, and offense is the killing goddamn blow. That's how it has been, and that's how it continues to be. But with it continuing to be like that, for the first time, for the first goddamn time, at least in the last few years, it feels like everything is there. It feels like there is no peace, it's missing like it did previously. Any category of problem that you can look at, the solution will be there, whether that's defensively, whether that's offensively, whether that's you needing a last minute shot, whether that's you needing someone that will keep the ball, whether that's you needing someone that will chase the ball, and so on and so goddamn forth. There is someone there to cover all the criteria, and I've said this before this season. I'm pretty sure I've said this more than once this season, but I'll say it again. It's the year. It's the year of the complete puzzle, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that I believe that this team can win this. I'm gonna sit here and say that this team believes that they can do it. They can go all the way. And honestly, it's 4 more. We're not far. We're really not far away. On Friday, as I said, we need to do the same, if not better. And if, knock on wood, we get the job done on Friday, that's 80% of the qualification to the Final Four. In the Final Four, we are probably, more than likely, gonna face Spanolis Monaco, who earlier today absolutely turned Barcelona upside down, beating them. I'm pretty sure Monaco beat Barcelona 97 to 80. I can't promise that, but I know that they completely turned them upside down. So I think that my prediction stands there that we will be facing Monaco. And on the other end, it will more than likely be the two teams that are leading their series right now, and that's Fenerbahce and Panathinaikos. And that Final Four that we all more or less predict will probably be the death of most of us due to a heart attack. Uh, but that Final Four is one I truly believe we can get on the top of. But I really, as tempting as it is, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want the team to get ahead of themselves. I don't want the fan base to get ahead of themselves. So I'm trying to not look to the Final Four because there are still two very tough games against Real Madrid, one on Friday. So yeah, as I was saying, this team can do this. And this team believes that they can do this. And it showed today. Are there some tweaks that still need to happen? Yeah, sure. There are. Of course there are. Because how can there not be? I feel like there are tweaks that can happen to most, if not all, teams. Ours is just, at least one of them is just a problem that's been haunting us for a long goddamn time. Moving on after the absolutely joyous return uh, of Thomas Walkup, I wanted to give my flowers to another player that for me deserves it massively, and another player that, while it doesn't really show stat wise, has been there constantly. When he's healthy, he's been there, and once again today he was right there. The main source of just spoon feeding the big man, and I'll get to those two boys in a bit because if there was a positive light to look at today, it's for damn certain the performances of our bigs. But he was the main guy that was feeding those bigs their chances. He finished the game with 2 points, 5 assists in 18 minutes. And let me make sure about steals and stuff so I don't misinform you all. And yeah, I remember correctly, he had 2 steals as well. And that, of course, is a player that I've been very excited for since the summer. But a player that's been out for a bit, making his returned to the Euroleague as well. If I'm not mistaken, uh, he hadn't played at the end of the regular season. I'm pretty sure he was still out. And that's Luca Vildoza. Luca today was the Luca that we all know and love, honestly. He was very consistent throughout the 18 minutes that he got. Of course, the biggest positive from his game is one I mentioned. The thing being that he found both Moose and Milutinov perfectly every single chance he got. He was incredible on the defensive end as well. And honestly, he just showed that fiery passion that we know that his game has, again, especially in the defensive end. And he was crucial. There is no other way to truly put it. He was crucial for the much needed win today, and he deserves to get his flowers for such a performance. I mentioned them. I mentioned them, and I can't go with skipping them. And I will start from the man that has had the biggest upturn in form in this game, the man that took advantage of Real's weaknesses, the man that finally took advantage of one of his biggest positives, which is the pick and roll game, and that, of course, is our Serbian, that's Nikola Milutinov, who finished the game with 11 and 8 in 20-ish minutes. It was 20-30. Let me make sure, because I'm pretty sure he did. No, he didn't. Okay, he did not have a block. He had a steal. The man that did have a block to his name is Mosfal, but we'll get to him in a bit. Uh, but as I said, Milutinov, after a big, deep informed discussions, doubts, up until a point, understandable criticism at the end of the regular, and still just some doubts in the back of our minds because of the very least, unannounced contract, but a glimpse, a glimpse of the Milo that has helped this team in immense ways, countless times in the past, and perhaps a switch flip, a switch flip that is not just a need, it's a necessity, because to go all the way, like you don't need to go this season, but you deserve to go this season, you need everyone healthy and everyone out there, not even 100%, and everyone at their 300%. And if if we keep seeing the Milutinov that we did today as a base, and he just skyrockets his form once again, first of all, it's going to be the most enjoyable thing just seeing people that were calling for his head to cheer for him again. And I'm pretty sure that if Milu knew or knows, he would laugh in all the irony. And it will also be positive in the way of stuff getting clearer with him being in his bag, flying in his game. I'm sure that the contract situation will just wrap up in whatever way it is meant to wrap up very fast, and everyone can concentrate happily at the big goal and goals, because we can't forget the league that are ahead of us. So we have extremely positive from Nicola. Excuse me for a minute, because my own voice is slowly giving up on me. And as I mentioned before, it wasn't only Nicola, it was Moss as well. Moss getting 17, few less than Nicola, finishing up with 5 points, a block, and I already forgot if he had a steal. I need to see. No, he did not. 5 points and a block for Mosfal. And honestly, the main reason, especially at the start, the main reason that Real just failed to get into the game, because they did. Real completely failed to get into the game. Tavares drew two fouls very early and was out for most, if not the entire first half. After that, and just chaos ensued. And honestly, the best way to put it is that when Moss is there, there are very, very few people that will get into a groove when facing him. And of course, offensively as well, playing a vital part in ball movement, scoring the five that he did, and being the fan that we love. And it felt like the towers are back. It really did. After a while, I think a more than solid performance from both of them felt like the towers are back. And Wright wasn't even needed. Wright didn't get a minute in this game. And speaking of turning performances back, because as you can probably sense a theme, I am not starting off with the shining stars of the game, and I am giving people that turned up for the the importance that this game held, and that showed up to the levels that we want them to. And if not, it's just there because both Vildoza, uh, both the big men, and Lee, Lee didn't even get a lot of time, but you get the point. They can, of course, all do even better, but they showed up to more than good enough levels. And another man that did is Shaquille McGee. Liked Shaquille a lot today. The 15 minutes that he played, I liked him a lot today, like what he did in the back. Uh, the insane rebounds that he managed to pick up, and just anywhere and everywhere, unable to be stopped, unable to be controlled, unable to be tracked, and played such a massive role coming off the bench on just both ends, so absolutely perfectly. Just a completely passion and passion filled and driven performance, topped off with just a mesmerizing Shaq attack highlight, like all the games of Shaq when he is at his best will have, with that incredible dunk that I wish I could show here, but I would be struck to hell from Nova's point. It's that Saka again that grabs all his chances by the horns and gets the absolute best out of them. And as I brought up the point earlier, that's the Saka we need to move forward. That's the everyone we need to move forward because to do this, we need everyone. And another man that I can before of course getting to the big three of Olympiacos, to the most consistent three of Olympiacos. Another man that I can't go without mentioning is the man that I just briefly went over. The man that managed to create a highlight of his own by stealing the ball and going up to dunk it uh, by himself. The walking robot that we had in, the man that was, as I said earlier, all over the place. And as I said, with uh, Shaq, as I said, with everyone, absolutely untrackable and an absolute homing missile on the defensive end. And that, of course, is Saban Lee playing 7 minutes. Uh, those two amazing points from the the seal and the dunk and par his one steal. Of course, he had one more to top it off, and he had one assist as well. As I said with the others, there is improvement in Saban Lee. There has been ever since he came in, but the way he just gelled with the team, the way he provides, the way he just gives it all for the team, it's nothing to overlook, and it's an absolutely amazing fit, and it's something to fully applaud. I heard the weird noise in my headphones. I hope that was just the actual headphones and the audio isn't just suddenly all messed up 35 minutes in. God, I hope that's the case because I just bragged for no reason that I am very happy with my audio for the first goddamn time in the show. And to finish off, looking at personal performances and the game in general, of course, before getting into the big three, you have to give a shout out to Papa Nicolau, the captain, finishing with 4 and 2. And let me actually check if he had steals and blocks because for the life of me I don't remember. 4-2 and the block for that. Like a lot of his teammates, not really a performance that is justified by stats, but a performance that is more than justified if you have the basketball knowledge to watch a goddamn game. Blood, sweat, and tears, as always, and a crucial leading role to this crucial victory. And of course, the three people that there is no goddamn words for anymore. The 23-7 Sasha Vezenkov, accompanied by 3 steals at that, because Christ, it's Vezenkov. And honestly, there is no truer words to say about this player because he's unable to be compared with anyone else. There isn't a player in the Euroleague right now that is better than Sasha Vezenkov. and I am standing by my statement. And if you want an addition to my statement, go listen to the chants that Sasha got himself, and those chants were, of course, MVP, and that will be proven when it matters, and that's all I'll say on that. He's surreal, isn't he? He's surreal, he's mind blowing. Sasha Vezenkov and his basketball are mind blowing to me. It's a combo I've said many times, but the fact that this man left, went to Sacramento, I'm not gonna talk about the whole trade situation, we all know what happened, but the fact that this man left, went to Sacramento, and came back even better. Mind you, he won MVP when he left. The fact that he came back even better is still mind blowing to me. And it will continue to be mind blowing to me because Sasha Vezenkov can be grasped. It's such an honor, it's such a joy to have him in the team. And it will be such a joy, again, knock on wood, because I'm speaking a bit too confidently in this episode. It will be such a joy when he finally gets that Euroleague he just truly, truly deserves along with the rest of the team. And alongside him, one of the coldest photos I've seen recently, the photo of the thumbnail, of course, of this whole show, the man with 13, 4, and 3, and a steal in 27 minutes, the man that is there when it fucking matters. Because it's been 40 minutes of going into the show, and I can swear freely, and the man that is there when it fucking matters. Evan Fournier, someone that people had written off because of a minor dip in form, someone that, again, it's not only the opposition fans, it's the thing that annoys me the most. And I'm not gonna get into it because, as I said, this episode's too positive to get into stuff like that. But the thing that annoys me the most is that our own fans were doubting a player like Evan Fournier. Mhm. Uh, but as we said, as I said, as everyone has said, Evan will bounce back, and when it matters, he will prove that he is the missing piece of the goddamn puzzle for this team, and when needed, he'll carry this goddamn team on his back. Was it needed today? No. But was his performance absolutely incredible? Hell to the yeah. And I honestly can't wait to see how he performs moving forward. And not just this year, the many years to come. Because, to quote the man himself, when he came in with his Christ months ago, now it feels like yesterday. I don't know when the season just flew by. That's a whole different story that I'm sure you all agree with fully. But to quote the man himself, he's here to stay, here to win many trophies, and here to play for the team that he loves so much. And the final man, and the final thing that I want to talk about is Alec Peters, the 10, 3, and 2, and 17 Alec Peters today, the best shooter in this goddamn league, the most consistent, most versatile, most consistent selectors combined, because I can't really sit here and name a player that's performed so perfectly in 3 of the 5 positions that he's played. Because, mind you, again, 3, 4, and 5 is what Peters has played for us. Again, just crucial is an understatement, not only for him, but for his incredible baskets that he's made, and again, best shooter in the league. Together as one is the signal, Piraeus time, as the Sheriff said, and together we goddamn fight. Bring on game 2. As I said, you can find anything you want from this show down below. Go check out yesterday's interview, and I'll see you all Friday. Thank you so much.